We've had that hanging over us now from the very, very beginning. And yet the other side, they don't even bother looking. And the other side is where there are crimes.
Pull live from the upside of America.
Get out the porch, I got a Porsche, I'ma take it back. I'm on the block with the killers and holding my own, of course, yeah. I see my mom and dad separate, ain't talking divorce. Said daddy was living by the fire, and he died by the torch. I'm where the AKs is, we like the baby kids. Ain't ever daddy, I listen to suckers the same way that Ray did. I'm telling Smithers and HKs, and I just was a grade A kid. Ain't on no guy, and we grew up with hitters and did everything they said. Point out the block, we spinning that. Running the spot, we getting that. Give us some work, we flipping that. I'm hitting from jet, I ain't hitting back. I need a lawyer, money for commissary, ain't nobody ain't sending that. I'm in my cell, like when I get out, I'm making a movie, no Cinemax.
Is this thing on? Hey everybody, welcome to Journey of Jazz. I am so excited to be talking to you right now. I've been overwhelmed with emotion, overwhelmed with sorrow, with pain. My heart has been broken for just the inhumane acts of violence on my people. And I'll be honest, it's uncomfortable. It's difficult to open up. It's difficult to be vulnerable. It's difficult to address people who I love, who I've been in classrooms with, who I've been in law firms with, and in institutions and on jobs with. But I have to speak. I cannot be silent. I cannot be silent. I have a voice. And so, first I want to address my white colleagues. I've had the great pleasure of attending so many predominantly white institutions.
My high school was predominantly white. My undergrad school, Old Dominion University, was predominantly white. And now Regent University School of Law is predominantly white. And
so I've been surrounded with my white counterparts. I've made friendships, I've built relationships. But one thing that I can say that has been lacking in each of these different institutions is my white colleagues and counterparts speaking out about these issues. And I think that that is what has to happen. First, let me say that I think that these protests and demonstrations have been a platform for my colleagues to speak out, for my colleagues to march with us and walk with us and talk with us. And I think that this should be the start. I don't think that it should end here. We have to bring this same energy into our different institutions. We have to bring this same energy into our firms and businesses and continue these conversations into our board meetings. It can't just be walking out holding a sign. I would love for my white counterparts to sit us down and have these conversations, to sit us down and listen to our stories, listen to the way that racism and discrimination has affected us. When we think of job interviews, the different things that we have to think about. We have to think about our hair. We have to think about if our name on a resume or application looks too black, if our achievements will be good enough, or if we will be disadvantaged because of our ethnicity, because of different biases that come with being black. And so I just challenge my white colleagues and counterparts to be uncomfortable, to get uncomfortable, to reach out to us, to ask us what you can do, to ask us how you can help. How can you fund the different things that we are doing? Fund the different initiatives, fund the different agencies and fundraisers that we have going on. To my sisters and brothers, I am so proud of you guys. I am so proud of us for the protests, for the unity, for the demonstrations, for everything that we are doing to push the agenda of racial equality in America, for everything that we are doing to make things better for those who come after us, for our sons and daughters. I'm so proud of us for the way that we've stepped out of our homes and been courageous and locked arms together and held signs together and chanted together and shared our stories. I am so proud of us, and I just encourage us to continue to keep this energy. We can't change because our environments change. I know that there's this fear that if we take this energy into the places where we work, into our churches that may be predominantly white, there's this fear that we won't be accepted. There's this fear that we'll be too much, that we'll be too assertive and intimidating. But I just ask that you bring this energy. You can still be respectful. You can still be kind. You can still be polite. But bring this energy into our various places that we go on Monday. when we go to work. Have these conversations. Tell our stories. Open up and be vulnerable. We have a voice. Now, more than ever, we have a voice. And it's okay if our colleagues are uncomfortable. It's okay if they're challenged. It's okay if they're uneasy. That is what pushes us forward. Being uncomfortable is what produces growth. We know that. Our growth is going to come in us being uncomfortable, having those conversations with our bosses and our employers and our families and our friends that don't look like us. Having those conversations with each other. And most of all, getting out and voting. We have to vote. Our ancestors have marched, they have bled, they have sweat, they have worked, been beaten, been spit on, been killed for our right to vote. We have to give them that much. Everything that we are, everything that we've accomplished, our education, our achievements, has been on their backs. The least we can do is get out to the ballot and vote. If we want a more fair system, if we want to get rid of systematic racism and move things forward for our country, we have to go to the ballots and vote. Exercise our right that was fought for. It matters. Whether it's locally, whether it's your state government, whether it's the national government, or whether it's your Congress or Senate, you have to be heard. Use your voice. Not only at the ballot, but as I said, in your different capacities, where you work, where you live, where you do day-to-day life. Push and have those challenging conversations. You can be respectful. You can have a discussion and listen. Give your perspective and listen and understand and hear other people.
Some people were taught racism. Some people were trained that way. Some people were told different things that created biases in their mind. Listen to their stories.
And on the other hand, as far as our white colleagues, listen to our stories. We may get riled up. We may sound angry. But understand that that's pain. That's sadness. That's being tired. So that's all I want to say today. What we're doing is beautiful. The way that we're coming together, the way that we're protesting, the way that we're sending a message internationally across the world is beautiful. Let's take this same energy into our various environments and platforms to really push and effectuate change. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's all I have for today. Black lives do matter. George Floyd, your life matters. Sandra Bland, your life matters. Breonna Taylor, your life matters. Trayvon Martin, all the other names who have been brutally killed through police brutality, your life matters. Your life matters to us.
It's out of our control. It's not like he wants to kill. He just doesn't want to die. You know what I'm saying? It's that situation when you got, we are living in a war zone. I feel like I can represent my generation so much because I honestly did not care whether I lived or died. But now, I cannot die. I can't leave until this straight. You know, I'm not suicidal. I can't go until y'all really know what time it is. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see, you know, how this fall. But that's how it is. And the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me to see what life should be like.